Oh man, this is hairy.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Little teaser there is to show you what is to come on this trail. Nothing really quite gets the blood flowing like the risk of ragdolling 100 feet or so down the hill, but there were definitely a couple points here where you gotta watch out. And frankly, I like that, so it's a good time. The starting elevation on this ride, as you may have just seen, is about 425 feet, and I do post kind of checkpoints so you can see how much elevation we are both ascending and descending on these trails. At the highest today, we got about 2,600 feet, but there are routes we could have gone that do go higher. Of course, you know, on an e-bike, you have to be conscientious about how far and how high you are going, especially if you're going down the backside of a hill. There are public trails through here. They are hard to find and even harder to get to, but they are extremely worth the hassle. So on the trail tech here, you know, I encourage you to look at both the elevation when you can see it, and the odometer, I didn't reset. It started at about 290 miles, but you can track the point-to-point distance and the speed pretty easily with that GPS. Now, one thing to note is the distance is purely from the GPS satellite perspective, a point-to-point distance. So this is not distance traveled really, and that goes for the speed as well. For that, you need a wheel speed sensor, which normally I would have via the Egg Rider. But yeah, so in general, if I'm going up a hill, I'm probably going a little bit faster than what the speed readout says. And I do like the point-to-point distance because it's kind of puts things into perspective. But, you know, where we're riding 8 miles point-to-point, that's really more like 25 miles when you factor in like the actual wheel distance going up and down the hills, which is important to note there. Now, for anybody wondering, my Sur Ron has our prototype battery, which is a 60 volt and it's 55 amp hour, which correlates to 3,300 watt hours of power capacity. I'm on a 21 inch front rim with the Shinko 524, and in the rear I have a wide 19 inch rim with a Michelin Star Cross 5 soft compound. Now, that rear tire is great, but with a 190/19 size, you do have to trim the side knobs. So I'm running a 64.2 sprocket, and that gives me plenty of torque to climb these hills, and it keeps the motor cool, believe it or not. So I'm fully on the 64.2 sprocket. Like, if anybody asks me what sprocket should I buy, 64 all day. No questions asked, whatever you're doing. The torque is really, really fun. I'm running 430 phase amps and 12 kilowatts of power on our BAC 4000 controller kit. So check that out on our website if you're interested.
Oh, dude, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I caught something.
This is a new trail I've never seen.
Oh yeah, that just goes up the hill, right?
I know where we are now.
Oh yeah? Is this the way we want to go?
This is the old trail, kid.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah. That's the old
Should
trail.
we go
right
over to
there.
that mine, have a beer?
Sure.
So as you may have noticed, today I am not riding with Riley and other e-bikes. I am riding with my Uncle Jason and my cousin Cade. Cade's on a KTM 350 4-stroke, and Jason is riding a KTM 300 2-stroke. They are both extremely talented riders and are going to show me a new route that I have not gone yet. So at this point in the video, I have not ridden, you know, this section of trail before. In previous videos, you know, we have been on this Pine Grove Trail that we rode earlier. But yeah, I'm always excited to break some new ground. This mine shaft that we come up on is really something that you have to know where to look, because I've been here multiple times before and I always rooted right past it.
That's awesome. They're working on these trails.
This is sweet.
So I hope they've opened up the rest of the trail, Cade. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that there was one of the mine shafts that I think I might have mentioned earlier, but there's so much cool things to see in this place. We stopped, had a beer, had a talk, and got back on the ride. It's always fun riding with internal combustion dirt bikes to kind of get a re-baseline in my mind on how the Sur Ron can really handle itself. At this point, I can say with confidence that the biggest downside for me with the Sur Ron compared to a gas bike is the range. You know, the power's there, the mass being lower is easier. I like that. I think it's easier and just more enjoyable to not shift. But I hate having to ride with, you know, internal combustion dirt bikes and say, hey, we gotta turn around or else I'm gonna run out of juice and walk it home. I will say there are sections here where the lack of mass can really throw the bike around and kill momentum, but overall there aren't really any egregious deficits in capability. I will say I probably wouldn't be out here on the stock battery capacity and stock suspension. It would be extremely punishing, but probably still possible. So I do want to mention that I am still on the stock Sur Ron motor. For our subscribers that might be watching this, you may have seen our previous video. Riley was talking about the QS motor, and we are going to do comparison testing. That's why he has it on his bike, and I'm still on the stock one. Unfortunately, Riley's not on this ride today, so this is the stock motor. Would have been cool to test it out. We've kind of been itching to do so. I do want to go back and mention, I kind of did not call out the elevation on the last checkpoint, but at the mine shaft we were at 2,570 feet, and we had covered a distance point to point via the GPS of about 4.7 miles. So the rise over run there was about 456.4 feet of rise per mile of distance. Now, that's fairly steep. This coming section here, we're descending and then also riding up a rise over run that's over 700, so it gets substantially steeper. I normally do like to keep track and list the state of charge whenever I'm on a ride. For the video, everybody wants, you know, a data point, understanding like what these bikes can do from a range perspective. And due to kind of a combination of laziness and bad luck, I broke my display on my way out of town to Agnes, and I threw a new one on, and when I got to Agnes, I was like, okay, I'll just set it up. I didn't have any cell service, and apparently, you know, for the Egg Rider app, the initial setup, you do need connection to internet to set up your display. So I have an Egg Rider on today. It is not functioning. And I would just recommend everybody, you know, set up your Egg Rider, and then you can, after that initial setup that you have Wi-Fi, you can change your settings just with Bluetooth on the go. But I did have kind of an oh crap moment where I didn't know if I was going to be able to ride, but luckily our EMB tuner app does not need internet, so I just put the settings on that I needed, and I was good to ride. But that being said, I had to carry a multimeter on with me today and kind of check throughout the road.
Try way down there.
I was a little bit concerned on this ride that I'd get somewhere that I couldn't get back from. But, I mean, if you have to hike out, you have to hike out. I wanted to ride these trails, and I'm I'm glad that I did. So Cade here with the big dirt bike had to do some fancy maneuver to get around, and the nice thing about the Sur Ron is I can easily lift up the rear tire, so kind of lazy, kind of embarrassing, but it is easier.
Oh man, this is hairy. Oh wow. Not really able to stop on that. Oh. Wow, this is so cool.
That cliff out there was definitely as sketchy as it looked. I'm not going to say death was certain, but definitely a bad day and some severe bodily injury if you didn't make that turn.
Wow, that's quite the trail.
Yeah, it's exposed though.
Pretty sick, huh?
Yeah, that's really sweet. Man, this is paradise.
Can you get your bike across this creek, Paul?
Yeah, I should be able to.
So we did cross the river and we decided to turn back. We didn't want to bite off more than we could chew with my available range. Oddly enough, I didn't lose a single, point of voltage going down this hill, but I was a little concerned how much I was going to have to spin getting back up.
It'll take a second.
Yeah.
I don't want to just destroy this trail. I'm trying to think of the best way
Yeah.
to do that.
It's hard to get momentum, so I'll let you go.
It was kind of one of those, look over your shoulder and then just try and block it out of your mind. You don't want to fall back down that way. So at the very bottom of that hill, that is Lawson Creek, and it's just super untouched, beautiful, clear. You can see the fish swimming around, and the elevation there was 575 feet. You remember back to when we stopped at the mine shaft at, let's say, the top of the hill? That was 2,570 feet. We effectively descended 2,000 feet in 10 minutes or so. That is really fun. I don't know how many other locations in Oregon can provide that level of descent, where we're talking 765 feet per mile.
Wow. Crazy. This is a hill that just keeps on going. Very rocky right here. Oh. I'm sure the GoPro is not doing the grade of this justice, but this is absolutely impressive.
The rest of this video is just going to be finishing up the ride. So I know we have been posting a lot lately. It's been pretty hectic, but we appreciate everybody's that supports this channel and supports our business. And I hope that you guys get out and ride soon, because that's what it's all about. So thank you and have a good day.
Oh man, so beautiful in here. Yep, see a log coming, push the throttle, pop that front end up, easy. Man, that was fun.
Yeah, isn't that rolly?
Yeah, I was going easy, but I mean, it just, you know,
That's smooth.
tractors along, you know.
That's a really good section. No roots really.
No, yeah, there was only one, but you know, just pop it up and
Yeah, it's a really smooth, fun section.
yeah. Any steeper, I might have started having problems, but it was just right there.
How'd you do coming out of the creek? Was it stressing that thing a little?
Well, oh yeah, you know, I mean, I could feel like to get the tire to actually turn and overcome that like stationary like torque, I had to give it a lot of throttle. Like I was probably using a fair amount of power doing that.
Okay.
But I mean,
well, we just got 2 or 3 miles on this road and then we're straight down to the cabin.
Yeah, we should be good.
Let's go.